वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्ताः स्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया पर्युपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ज्ञानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
Parama Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvaditam Gagana Sadrisham Masya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Majalam Savadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sadgurum Tam Namami. In the valley of sorrows, 1,000 years or till tomorrow. In the valley of sorrow, 1,000 years or till tomorrow. But I want to see only you, just you, my Lord. I want to see only you, just you. My heart's a flame, my soul's a fire. My heart's a flame, my soul's a fire, just for you, you. see only you. Oh, just you. My Lord, I want to see only you. Oh, just you. Savevinum Shirasi Shikhipecham Kartik Tate Dukulam Nitante Sahajara Kataksham Vidatate Sada Srimadrinda Vanavasati Lila Parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathakami Bhavatu me Kaliratnam Geeta Gaganatararatnam Dinamalihi Nisharatnam Chandro Bhuvanatararatnam Shashimukhi Sapharatnam Vidya Shravarna Puttaratnam Harikatha Nadiratnam Ganga Nipatikulatnam Padupati Sapharatnam Vidya Shravarna Puttaratnam Harikatha Nadiratnam Ganga Nipatikulatnam Padupati Namostu Devya Savishala Buddhe Pullandravinda Yatapatra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharatair Purna Prajwalitokya Namaya Pradipa. You can now gently and slowly open your eyes and know that you are a unique and beautiful spiritual being of pure consciousness, and all you have to do is to shine brightly, and you'll be helping the world and the universe. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Maharaj. Stay blessed.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. On behalf of Swami Geeta Kiran ji and Guru Bhai Joshi ji, I extend a very warm Geeta Ashram welcome to all of you. Thank you for being with us tonight. Having said that, I would like to invite Guru Bhai Joshi ji to please take it over. Joshi ji, over to you. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Bhai. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev to all of you. Today is a special day in USA. We call Thanksgiving Day. Most of devotees are busy at this time having a big feast, big food, big gathering. And so our Guru Bhai Nandra Kapurji will be missing because he has a gathering at his home. Surprisingly, I also have gathering at my home, but I requested them 6:30. I have a bigger gathering, so I have to leave. So they are having their time and I'm having my time. Dear friends, the word Thanksgiving has many meanings, but to our group, thanks is an acknowledgement of receiving God's grace giving. It is a show of appreciation of grace received from Him. Thanks for giving of yourself both professionally and personally to our Creator. And never forget, He has clearly mentioned, Mamai Vanso Jiva Loke, we are His essentially parts. So we are all divine, and that divinity has to be invoked one day to be full divinity, and until then we'll keep coming and keep coming and keep going. Krishna has mentioned many times Sarvasritam Hadisane Vishwa. He alone resides in the heart of all mankind, us. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hadeshayam Tishtati. He is in the hearts of all men beings. And as a matter of fact, he is the one making us act. As Gurudev used to say, without his permission, पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है. So whatever is being done by us is done with his grace. Whether we like it or not, we are like puppets. And feel it that way and feel ourselves we are in the hands as a puppet in the hands of Lord Krishna. And then life changes, life becomes much more meaningful, much better. So, thanks to Sri Krishna, thanks to Mother Geeta, and also thanks is deserved by our Creator Swami Geeta Kiran, who has been awarded by Swami Guru Geeta Dham and Geeta Ashram headquarters a special plaque when there was a big program of Mother making scholarship giving to Thai kids. And I think that time Geeta Kiran received this distinguished award. So congratulations Geeta Kiran for receiving such an award. And very proudly I want to say that our brother Peter in Canada has also received the award. So I thank you Peter for helping Geeta movement and congratulations for having that award. We feel proud to be part of this group. At this moment, I request Dr. Prasadji, since Kapurji is not with us, to give his side of Gita discourse. So Dr. Prasadji, please take a few more minutes and give us all the way to 35 minutes past the hour so that in case Gita from Minnesota comes, we can give them 5 minutes. And again, welcome to all of you, especially I see Chopraji from California, Veenaji from Jaipur, Rameshji from Jaipur, and many, many more people here. So Dr. Prasad, Jai Shri Krishna, please take it over.
Thank you very much, Joshi ji. Jai Shri Krishna to all of you participating in this discourse, which we have been carrying on for some time. And presently, we are going through chapter 5. But before that, let me start with prayer to Bhagwan and Gurudev. Vansi Vibhushitakara Navneedabha Pitambara Darunabimbaphaladarostar Purnendu Sundaramukhat Arvindanetra Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yet Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Divine souls, last week we went through this verse 10 of chapter 5. As you know, Bhagwan has been replying to Arjuna's question, which pertains to distinction between karma yogi and karma sannyasi. In this verse 10, Bhagwan is talking about karma yogi. A karma yogi, how he acts. Karmani karotiya. He performs action. How? Brahmanyadhaya. He dedicates all his actions to Bhagwan. And he also does not get associated with attachment. He abandons attachment. So the two qualifications. One, on one hand, he is getting rid of association with sansar, and on the other hand, he is catching hold of the grace of Bhagwan. He seeks grace of Bhagwan in all his actions, whatever is performed. So what is the result? Bhagwan says, Lipyate na sapapena. He does not incur any sin. No merit is associated with the karma he performs. And Bhagwan has given a beautiful example how a person living in this world, performing all the actions, yet he does not get touched by the demerit of karma. No karma phala or demerit of karma gets associated with this person who performs his action with total dedication to Bhagwan and not attaching with sansara. And the example is like Padma Patra Mivan Bhasa. Padma Patra is lotus leaf and Ambasa is water. Although that leaf gets nutrition from that water or mud in the water, under the water, and sustained and serve on the all its sustainment goes from the water on which it lies, yet it doesn't get wet by the water on it. We have discussed about last week. Now, moving ahead, the next verse, again, Bhagwan is talking about karma yogi. And he says here, Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yoginah karma kuruvanti sangam tyaktva shuddhaye. Meaning is kayena, that is the body, manasa means the mind, buddhya is the intellect, kevalai is only, indriye api, indriye with the senses, api even, yoginah karma kurvanti, yoginah perform actions, sangam tyaktva, giving up attachment, atma suddhe, for the purification of self. So the meaning here is, in this verse, through this verse, Bhagwan is saying that a karma yogi, while giving up attachment, you see it is the sangam tyaktva. See, I have marked with the black. This is a very bad thing, the worst thing which one can get associated with sangam. And so many verses. We have in earlier verse also we talked about sangam tyaktva. That is the one, the attachment is the worst thing one can have in life. Once you are attached to the sansar, to any object of the world, including the body, your downfall is destined. So again here emphasizing sangam tyaktva karma kurvanti yoginah. That means that person, the yogi, karma yogi, in this verse, there are 4 components. One component is that this is action performed by karma yogi. Then the second component is that he has given up attachment. The third component is he perform action with body, senses, mind, and intellect. And the fourth component is only for the purpose of self-purification. So there are these 4 components. Let us look at each component one by one. Now, when we talk about karma yogi, the thing is he performs action. Karma kurvanti. He acts. He performs. He is engaged in action. As against a karma sannyasi. In that case, he considers himself to be akarta. Naiva kinchit karomiti. If you remember earlier in the verse 8, we talked about Naiva kinchit karoti saha yukto manyet tattvavit. There we explained that the karma sannyasi, he is tattvavit. He is yukta. And once he is united with the Brahma, and while attaching himself to Brahma, he is not the performer of action as against karma yogi, who is the performer of action. Here he is a witness of action. So there is a distinction between a karma yogi who acts, performs, as against karma sannyasi, where he is sakshi, he is witness to actions being performed. The karma yogi, he surrenders himself to the feet of Lord, he finds himself to be instrument in the hands of Lord, while a karma sannyasi has already got yukta with Brahma, and as such, he dissociates completely with the performance action. He is upadrashta, he is onlooker, he is witness to the actions being performed. So that distinction one has to keep on, because throughout the whole chapter of this 5, Bhagwan is answering to and trying to convince Arjuna the distinction and no distinction insofar the goal is to be achieved. And that also he keeps on reminding. So we have to keep these 2 factors in mind as we move ahead in explaining the verses. Now coming to the second part, that is the body, senses, mind, and intellect. See, these are so beautifully arranged by Bhagwan. When we talk of body, we are talking about that the कर्मेंद्रियां, हमारे जितने कर्मेंद्रियां हैं, हाथ, पैर, गुदा, उपस्थ, all these act, they are also participating in action. Although they are secondary, they are all following the mind and intellect, and senses are involved. So all these are karmendriya, jnanendriya and karmendriya with man or buddhi. These 4 components, these are you can see in a car, you have got the wheel, you have got the steering, you have got the brake, and you have got the clutch. These are the various instruments which take the car forward or backward. So there is action being performed, and there are various components take part in performance of action. If clutch is not working, the brake is not working, one of the parts not working, then you will not be able to make the car move, or the action of car will not be as required. As here Bhagavan is saying, and all these four components, the body, mind, senses, and intellects, they are all integrated. And he uses the word Kevale Indriya, beautiful. This is Sanskrit word. These words have loaded with value. So beautifully put in here. If you say इंद्रियां काम करती हैं, मन काम करता है, बुद्धि काम करती है, ठीक है, लेकिन केवल ही डाल देने से they have to be integrated, they have to be well aligned. ऐसा नहीं है कि मन कुछ कह रहा है और हमारी आंखें कुछ और कर रही है, मन कुछ कर रहा है और पैर कुछ कर रहा है. मंदिर जाने का विचार हुआ, पैर कहता है नहीं, थका हुआ हूं, नहीं जाऊंगा, नहीं चल पाऊंगा. So there is no coordination into the activities. Mind is telling you to perform some action. On the other hand, your senses and your parts, other components are not cooperating with you. That will not be able to, you will not be able to achieve the target which you have set. So here Bhagavan is saying the Kayena, Manasa, Buddhya, Ke Indriya, all of them are performing in cooperating with each other. They are well aligned, integrated. Why they are doing this? Why Karma Yogi makes use of all the various components of the body? What is the aim? What is the goal? That goal is Atma Suddhe. The goal is to Chitta Suddhi, get rid of the impurities. You get purification. You want your Antahkaran to be purified. You see here, although the word is Atma Suddhe, or it is translated as self-purification, it is not the Atma we're talking about, because Atma अशुद्ध होता ही नहीं है. आत्म शुद्धि किसकी होगी? जो अशुद्ध होगा. The one which is impure, that has to be purified. So one has to take into consideration the word. When we talk of Atma Suddhe, somebody can say, how come why are you talking about Atma Suddhe? Does Atma get impurity? Do you want to have impurity? Is there impurity in the Atma? No, it is not so. We have to understand it differently. Let me come to that. So what happens when we are performing action? The power has to come from Brahma, the what is called witness consciousness. There is consciousness, but witness consciousness, it is not associated with the senses, mind, intellect. In a way, no direct involvement. It is through what is called a reflected consciousness. The power of Brahma, like magnet, for example. If you have magnet and you have what iron foils there, it is not directly in what is the iron foils get magnified, not directly magnetic. It is no magnetism inside. If you analyze that iron foil, it is not magnetized. But when it comes in contact or close to the magnet, then it gets charged up. Here what happens, Bhagwan, or it is described, our sages and saints have analyzed this, and modern scientists are working hard to really understand this, that there is what is called intrinsic property and the property which is borrowed. The intrinsic property, like in sun has its intrinsic property of Dahika and Prakasika. Two powers are there in sun. One is the power to provide heat, and other is to provide light. But that is in sun. But that sun, when it gives light to moon, moon hasn't got its own power of giving light, but it gets reflected. The rays from sun is reflected through moon, and that when we get moonlight. So that is a reflected property. In the body, we have what is called antakaran, man, buddhi, chit, or ahankar. These are inner instrument. That is in our system. There is a system what is called antakaran. And the Brahma, which is in our body, that is witness consciousness, is reflected onto this reflecting surface. This antakaran has a reflecting surface, and that reflecting surface gets darkened or dimmed depending upon the layer of impurity on it, and those impurities are called mal, vikshep, and avaran. I have gone through this previously, but this should be kept in mind all the time, that the impurities are there. All you can call it tamoguni, satoguni, rajoguni, and tamoguni. These are the impurities. So when the impurities are there, it is not in the Atma, not in the self, but it is in antahkaran. So those impurities, Bhagavan says, a person who has been performing action with all the instruments in an integrated way, well aligned, and the aim is, his action is aimed at getting rid of the impurities from his antahkaran, so that the power which is there in supreme consciousness or witness consciousness is unhindered, and it purifies the whole. Once purification takes place, ajnana is lost, and you get jnana, one with it. When that avaran, mala, is the impurities, and then vikshep, even after mal is taken away, there is vikshep. That means it is not still. In terms of Patanjali Yoga Shastra, it has been described like water in the lake. The water in the lake, at the bottom of the lake, if there is a coin or gold iron rod is put there, you will not be able to see that iron piece there, or the golden piece there, because water is muddy. That is mal. If the mud is removed, still you will not be able to see that gold coin if the water is not still. The water has to be still. That is vikshep. What vikshep is, that it is not still. You need still mind to be able to concentrate on Bhagavan. And that, once it is still, then you will be able to see the gold coin at the lower part of the lake. So that is the vikshep. And then there is again one thin layer, an avaran. That avaran is of ajnana, ignorance. And that once ignorance is taken away, you are one with Brahma. So here in this verse, Bhagavan is talking about how a karma yogi, making use of his components or instruments, sangam tyaktva, getting rid of the attachment, he is performing in an integrated way and well-aligned way, and his aim is what is called self-purification. He wants to purify his antahkaran so that he is enlightened. He becomes one with Brahma. Now, this same philosophy, Ramana Maharshi has beautifully described in these 4 dictums he has got, when he says, Iswara arapitam na ichha kritam chitta sodakam mukti sadanam. This is given in Upadesa Saram, by Maharshi Ramana, and which means again, a man, a person who is dedicating all his work, actions to God, na ikshakritam, not desiring, that means he is getting kamana, getting rid of desire. Chitta sodakam, he purifies the inner equipment, that is antakaran. When that is purified, mukti sadanam, that is the aid to liberation. He becomes liberated. So the dedicating the results of action to God, not desiring, leads to purification of antakaran. And this practice is an aid to liberation. And this is what Ramana Maharshi has described. Now, as mentioned in this, what is happening that all these activities, when there is self-purification, what happens? That person gets yukta. That means he gets united with. There is no distinction between, there is no more separation between Jivatma and Paramatma. They become one. So then the next verse, Bhagwan, in verse 12, Bhagwan talks about that person who has become yukta, and again gives a comparison or contrast situation so far ayukta is concerned. He says, yukta karma phalam tyaktva shanti mapnoti naistikim ayukta kamakarena hale sakto nivadyate. Yukta, we have just heard that the person who performs all his actions in the integrated way, submitting that at the feet of Lord, then he is able to purify himself and be one with Brahma. And that person, Yukta, is united with self. This is what Maharaji always talks about, जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करना. गीता में throughout Bhagavad Gita, all the sadhanas, जितने साधना है, सब साधना एक ही पर्पस है, जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करना. And that is to get one with Brahma. So now this person, this again Karma Yogi, who has become Yukta now, he is karma phala tyaktva. He is now giving up the results of all karma. He is given up the results of all the activities. And once he does that, what happens to him? Santim apnoti. If after having performed action, whatever results come in, he doesn't bother about it. He gives up those actions. And by that doing, he is having naistikim santi, that santi which is everlasting, naistikim. On the other hand, ayukta kamakarena phale sakto nibadyate. Again, this kamakarena desire comes, impelled by kamakarena, impelled by desire, and here is phale sakto. Here is phalam tyaktva. On the other hand, this ayukta is phale sakto. He is attached to the results of action. He is sakta, the result of the action. He is attached. And when that happens, nibadyate, he becomes entangled. Here Bhagavan is talking about yukta and comparing it with or contrasting it with what happens to ayukta. So, offering the results of activities to God, the karma yogi attains everlasting peace, whereas those who being impelled by desire, work with a selfish motive, become entangled because they're attached to the fruits of their action. So once that happens, then one gets santi, other gets asanti, opposite to that. You will see in Bhagwan, throughout whole Gita, he talks about Santi, Santi, Sukha, Sukham. So Sukham and Santi are given in Bhagavad Gita so many places. And if you go to that, again it talks about grades of Santi, Naishtikim Santi, Param Santi, Saswada Santim, Anantaram Santim, like that. So I have given those verses and the chapter and verses I have given there. Those interested can make note of that, and at your own leisure time, you can go through these verses and analyze the various kinds of Santi which Bhagavan is talking about in this. But in this verse, Bhagavan is talking about Ayukta and Yukta. These are the two sides of the same coin. You are performing action, but one is performing with attachment, one is performing with aim at the fruit of the action. On the other hand, one is not having any eye on the fruit of action, and he is also performing without any attachment. On the other hand, he is submitting everything at the feet of the Lord. This same Yukta and Santi is again mentioned in verse 66 of chapter 2, where Bhagavan says, Nasti buddhir yuktasya na cha yuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayatah santi asantasya kuta sukham. He's talking about what happens to Ayukta. There is no knowledge of self to him. Of course, he is far away from having any knowledge of what is Brahma or what is Atma. He is associated with the body and sansar. His activity is always swa for his own self and for his own gain and own attachment with the public, with the objects of the world, and with that he's associated. His life is throughout associated with the involvement of sansar. But of course, he will not have any peace of mind. Sometimes temporarily he will have some peace, some pleasure. Again, he will go into misery and he will have suffering. So his ups and downs in his life will go on. Bhagavan says, Asantasya utah sukham. How can a person who has no peace of mind will have any happiness? So this person has no knowledge of the self. That was that he has not able to meditate. Of course, it's not possible. His mind is so disturbed that he has no peace. He is not able to concentrate. He will never be able to meditate. Nacha bhavayata santi. That unmeditative person, there is no possibility of attaining peace. And to that person who has no peace, Bhagavan says, asantasya kutah sukham. So that way, he will not be having peace of mind. Now, I think I will stop here because I will give some 5 minutes time to others, as Joshiji has mentioned. But next week, I will explain to you as to how you can attain peace. And there are various grades of peace. There are 5 steps to eternal peace. If one wants, you see, each one of us are lying at one stage or the other. And we have scope, possibility to attain eternal peace. Next week, as I'll explain to you, as I'll try to explain by the grace of Bhagavan, the steps one can, these are practical steps which each one of us are taking and have possibility of improving ourselves so that ultimately we get eternal peace. As I'll explain this next week. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasadji. They used to say Gita is Karam Pradhan, and knowing the essence and secrets of karma is the beginning to move forward in Bhagavad Gita. So we are pounding on karma, and how to be happy, knowing the secrets of karma. We are, thank you so much, Dr. Saab. You are giving us detailed analysis. I see that Ramesh Kemalani is here in case you want to share 2-3 minutes about Gurudev, his experience. Ramesh ji?
Ji, Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you very much for giving small opportunity. I am very happy, Mr. Joshi ji. First off, I will to tell you about, I have seen the last week a very big program our sister Vilaya has done, scholarship, which is Guruji has given foundation in Thailand. Really, we all proud of Gita Ashram devotees that these things is still going on. I have seen the full program. All the small children, they are very happy to receive the envelope. And one high authority came and he conducted the program with very peaceful and very good manners. Really appreciate. Although our sister Vilay is not feeling well 1 week before, but still she has get the power, spiritual power from Gita. I know Lord Krishna is taking care of her, but she has managed and do the program very nicely. And I really pray to God that this kind of program must be in all Gita ashram around the world. Because it's a very normal thing. Collect the money and give to the poor children and who really need it. So I will request all high authority, Joshi ji and all other devotees, please take care of this program to everywhere. So, it is the Guruji who started this program. I appreciate. Thank you very much, Sister Vilai's wonderful program. God bless you. The second thing I want to tell you about the Gita, you see, I don't know why people are scared to read Bhagavad Gita. Because of Sanskrit. Whenever you tell somebody, please read Bhagavad Gita, they're scared to it. There's nothing to scare. It's very simply, he says, just trust me, I will take care of you. Nothing else. Gita teaching us. Whenever I tell somebody, when I reach 60 years, I will read. Now tell me what condition will be there in 60 years before you touch the Bhagavad Gita? You see? And in that time, what you will learn, what Gita says, 18 chapter, 700 shloka, each shloka has got a great verse. What you will understand in the age of 60 years or 70 years. You have to start with a small age. I'm trying my best to go to school and teaching the Bhagavad Gita shloka. At least they should know what is Bhagavad Gita. What everybody is कोई भी काम करते हैं, आपको क्या मिलेगा? What Gita give us? अब ये तो benefit सब ढूंढ रहे हैं. Everybody looking at benefit. What I will get from Bhagavad Gita? What you will not get in Bhagavad Gita? At least you enter inside, you will see how big you will be. Impossible. Something which is very impossible, it is become possible. You see? There's a surety in Bhagavad Gita, every shloka. Very great meaning of every shloka. But at least if you are not going, ocean, Guruji says is an ocean. So when you enter inside, then you get the ocean. So within few time, I will only that don't take Bhagavad Gita in your hand, go inside, read, and try to understand, because when you have something, then you can give to somebody. When you don't have, what you will give to different people? My habit, whenever I go somewhere, I see 5 people, I call them. I say, okay, let me give one very big. सबको बोलते हैं कि आपको दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा इंसान बनना है, you want to become biggest person in the whole world, you have to go inside the horse, because horse is always down, and God loves the people whose head is down. Nimarta. So Gita teaching us a very high meaning
Thank
of
you.
Gita.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Yoshiji, this is the things which I want to explain. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Also, I want to request in case Kesavji wants to share some of his feelings.
Jai Shri Krishna. Yeah, a couple of things have come right now. As Joshi Sahib, you said कि भाई आज Thanksgiving है. I'm also at my son's house, family get together. And apart from that, like Ramesh ji said, people say why read Gita. What I do is when in Rome, do as the Romans do. One of my friends, Sardar ji, I asked him, यार Gita, I asked him, Guru Granth Sahib पढ़ते हो? वो कहता है यार, he's about at that time he was 65 plus, and कहता है यार कोई नहीं, उत्ते जाके भी तो कुछ काम करना है ना, जब ऊपर जाएंगे तो वहां पढ़ लेंगे, यहाँ और काम कर रहे हैं, करने दो. Coming back to the topic, yeah, what is this पदम पत्र? पदम पत्र बहुत ही गहरा है जोशी साहब. This my body is पदम पत्र. ये बॉडी इस संसार में है, बॉडी के आउटसाइड सब कीचड़ ही तो है. मृत्यु संसार सागर, ये सारा सागर मृत्यु का सागर है. और भाई क्योंकि इसके अंदर कीचड़ ही तो भरा हुआ है. राइट, प्रसाद जी सेड, क्या कहा आपने, वो तामसिक, राजसिक और सात्विक, इनका जो गुण है वो सब कीचड़ ही तो है. तो इस पदम पत्र को अंदर इनसाइड भगवान खुद बैठे हैं. आप ही ने जोशी साहब का अहम वैष्णव भूता प्राणपान दे मामाश्रिता सर्वस्व चाम हृदय समिष्टो ईश्वर सर्वभूता नाम हृदय से अर्जुन स्थिति. तो ये जो अंदर बाहर दुनिया में रहते हुए संगम त्यागत्वा करोति, जो भी मैं करता हूँ, डूअरशिप, ओनर ऑफ डूअरशिप नहीं लेनी, डिटैचमेंट फ्रॉम फर्स्ट डूअरशिप, कर्तापन से ही त्याग लेना है. जब कर्तापन से त्याग ही ले लिया तो कर्म बंधन कहाँ रहेगा भाई. फिर जब कर्म बंधन नहीं होगा और प्लस डिजायर ही नहीं होगी उसका फल की भी, तो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज त्याग ऑफ डूअरशिप, डिटैचमेंट फ्रॉम द ओनरशिप ऑफ डूअरशिप. जय श्री कृष्ण. बहुत टाइम थोड़ा है, बहुत ज्यादा ले लिया. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Beautiful, very beautifully said, beautifully said. वही परम पद है जो हृदय के अंदर भगवान विराजमान है, उनको पूरा समझना ही परम पद है. उसके बाद में संसार के कोई नहीं लेना देना. We live here, we build here, but we will live in His grace, and that is परम पद. Thank you very, very much. And Dr. Prasad ji, this analysis of karma is very helpful to most, and someone will get the click. I am getting it. And that's what we need. Once you know the secrets of art of knowing karma and understanding karma yoga, you are free from all the worldly miseries. If you are uncomfortable, you are entangled in this Maya world. If you are happy, you are free from this Maya. We are getting there. We will get there. Thank you, everyone. Again, Thanksgiving to all of you. See you next week. And thank you, Benaji. Thank you, Vamlaji from Jodhpur, city of Gita Dham. Meet again next week. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, all of you.
Jai Shri
जय
Krishna.
श्री
Jai Shri
कृष्ण.
Krishna.
जय गुरुदेव.
Jai Shri Krishna. Happy Thanksgiving Day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
थैंक
Mom.
यू. थैंक यू.
It's